Hey everyone! Today we're diving deep into one of the most electrifying questions burning through the MonsterVerse fandom right now. Could we finally see a Godzilla species in Godzilla x Kong, SuperNova, just like how we witnessed Kong's entire civilization in Godzilla x Kong? The new empire? If you're a true Titan enthusiast, you know that the MonsterVerse has been teasing us with lore, ancient histories, and hidden species for years. But one colossal mystery remains. Where are the other Godzillas? Kong had his Hollow Earth kingdom, his ancestors, even a freaking throne. But Godzilla? He's been the last of his kind. Or so we thought. In Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, we finally got a deeper dive into Kong's history, his people, his culture, and even a massive Hollow Earth temple carved by his kind. So the question now is, where is Godzilla's side of the story? Could SuperNova finally pull back the curtain on the origins of the King of the Monsters? Today, we're breaking down every clue, every Easter egg, and every piece of evidence that suggests Godzilla's species might finally be revealed in SuperNova. And it could change the MonsterVerse forever. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's rewind for a second. In the MonsterVerse, Godzilla has always been portrayed as the last of his species, the sole survivor of an ancient race of alpha predators. But here's the thing, that doesn't add up. Think about it. Kong had an entire civilization. Temples, wars, even a war axe made from a Godzilla dorsal plate. The Mutos had multiple specimens. Even Ghidorah was an alien, but he wasn't alone in the universe. So why has Godzilla been the only one of his kind? Unless he isn't. In Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, we saw something we've never seen before. A thriving, if long extinct civilization built by Kongs. There were temples, thrones, murals, even advanced construction deep in Hollow Earth. The Scar King wasn't just a rogue titan, he was the leader of an entire lineage. The Kongs were organized, intelligent, and war-ready. And most importantly, they weren't alone. The implication in the movie was clear. The Kongs fought someone, and if you look closely at the murals in the Scar King's throne room, you can actually see their enemy. Blue fire, jagged fins. A silhouette eerily similar to Godzilla. That's right. Kong's ancestors may have gone to war with the Godzilla species. There's a theory floating around that Godzilla's species didn't go extinct. They went into hiding. And SuperNova might be the movie that finally pulls back the curtain. Godzilla vs. Kong introduced us to the Hollow Earth, a realm where Titans once thrived. Kong's ancestors ruled there, but what if they weren't the only ones? In Kong, Skull Island, we saw cave paintings depicting Godzilla and other creatures battling. The novelization of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, hinted that Godzilla's species once had a shared history with Kong's kind, possibly even a war. The Hollow Earth energy source, the one Godzilla and Kong both feed on, might be tied to Godzilla's species evolution. What if, deep beneath the Earth's crust, there's a lost city of Godzillas sleeping, waiting, or even imprisoned? Imagine a scene where Kong and Godzilla stumble upon a temple filled with dormant Godzilla eggs. Or worse, an alpha even bigger than Godzilla himself. The title Godzilla x Kong, SuperNova, is already dripping with cosmic implications. A supernova is a star's explosive death, but it also creates new elements, new life. Could this be a metaphor for Godzilla's species returning? Here's what we know so far. The film is rumored to delve deeper into Titan origins. New leaks suggest an ancient threat, possibly a Titan from Godzilla's past. The tagline, "The war for Earth was only the beginning," hints at a larger conflict, maybe even a species-level war. And let's not forget, the title is Godzilla x Kong, not versus that X could mean alliance, team-up, or even a shared enemy from their past. Rumors have been swirling, and recent teaser breakdowns all point to one name, Space Godzilla. That's right. The intergalactic, crystal-armored monstrosity from the Toho films could be the ultimate villain in SuperNova. But here's the catch. Space Godzilla's origins in the original Japanese films are tied to Godzilla's DNA, specifically, Godzilla cells drifting into space and fusing with alien energy. He is literally a twisted version of Godzilla, but from the stars. So, what if the MonsterVerse version of Space Godzilla is not just a villain, but a mirror to Godzilla's past? Here's a theory that will blow your mind. What if Space Godzilla is the corrupted member of Godzilla's species? cast out, mutated by alien radiation, and returning now for revenge. Remember Ghidorah? The three-headed alien dragon that nearly ended the world? Here's a wild thought. What if Ghidorah wasn't the only extraterrestrial threat? This would imply that the species still exists, perhaps even in exile, or scattered across Hollow Earth. Or worse. Watching the surface from afar, waiting for the right moment to rise again. If Space Godzilla comes to Earth seeking not just destruction, but domination, then it stands to reason he may be trying to reclaim what was once his, the throne of the Godzilla lineage. And maybe, just maybe, our Godzilla isn't alone anymore. In King of the Monsters, it was said that Ghidorah was the last of his kind. But what if his species wiped out Godzilla's? That could explain why Godzilla is alone. We also saw in King of the Monsters, we saw ancient carvings deep in monarch outposts showing Godzilla as a kind of divine protector, a balance bringer. But in the new empire, the story got more complex. We saw images of war, destruction, two sides in constant opposition. There's a massive unspoken story here, something the MonsterVerse has been building toward all along. It's very likely that the next film will feature new areas of Hollow Earth we haven't seen yet, locations built not by Kong's people, but by Godzilla's. Think about it. If Kong's people had temples and statues, why wouldn't Godzilla's? Imagine massive subterranean chambers filled with blue luminescence, fossilized remains of other Godzilla-type titans, and murals showing not just one protector, but many. A dynasty of nuclear-powered monsters that ruled from the depths. And then, they were wiped out. By the Kongs? By space threats? By something worse? That would open up SuperNova to an emotional arc for Godzilla, finally facing his past, coming to terms with the loss of his people, or discovering they may still be alive. And let's not forget the film's title, SuperNova. It implies a cosmic event. A blinding, explosive force, something that could awaken more than just Space Godzilla, something that could resurrect a lost species. Now, with SuperNova introducing a new cosmic threat, possibly even Space Godzilla, we might finally see Godzilla's species' true fate. Were they slaughtered? Did they flee? Or are they waiting for revenge? If we see Godzilla's species, plural, what would they look like? They wouldn't all be carbon copies. Think variety. Different colors of dorsal fins, different builds, some taller, some bulkier. Maybe one has green atomic breath. Maybe another can manipulate gravity. After all, the MonsterVerse has already introduced titans with crazy powers. So why not a whole family of Gojiras, each with unique traits? Imagine a matriarch Godzilla, twice as large, older than time, with glowing white dorsal plates. Or a younger, more agile version with red breath and a sleeker profile. These could be the elders, the rookies, the outcasts. This wouldn't just be fan service, it would be world building at the highest level. This is the bombshell no one's ready for. What if Godzilla isn't the strongest of his kind? Think about it. Kong met his ancestors and learned he wasn't the last. What if Godzilla meets a progenitor Godzilla, an ancient, even more powerful version of himself? Could SuperNova introduce Godzilla Prime, the original alpha? Imagine a scene where Godzilla, the king we've followed for years, bows before another. That would redefine the entire MonsterVerse hierarchy. Every movie in the MonsterVerse has built toward one idea: balance. Titans rise, Titans fall, but the Earth finds a way to restore equilibrium. Godzilla was never meant to be alone. Nature doesn't build species just to leave one survivor. There had to be more. And maybe, just maybe, they've been sleeping, waiting, watching, hidden in the unexplored reaches of Hollow Earth, or even deeper, in pockets of radiation unreachable by human technology. The title SuperNova suggests cataclysm, a cosmic trigger. What if that explosion awakens not just Space Godzilla, but others? The Godzilla clan, rising for the first time in thousands of years. Maybe they're allies, maybe they're enemies. But either way, it's not just Godzilla's fight anymore. This would make SuperNova the most important MonsterVerse movie yet. A film that doesn't just expand the lore, it redefines it. Alright, here's my ultimate theory. In Godzilla x Kong, SuperNova, Kong and Godzilla will journey deeper into the Hollow Earth than ever before. There, they'll discover a hidden Titan sanctuary, one that houses Godzilla's ancestors in stasis. But here's the twist. They're not dead. They're waiting. Maybe they're hibernating, maybe they're imprisoned, Or maybe they're the last line of defense against something even worse. But one thing's for sure, Godzilla won't be alone anymore. So, could we finally see Godzilla's species in Godzilla X Kong Supernova? The clues are there. The timing is perfect. And the fanbase is hungry for it. Kong's world got expanded in the new empire. Now it's Godzilla's turn. And, with the potential arrival of Space Godzilla, Mothra's return, and a cosmic event ready to reshape the Earth, it would be a missed opportunity not to show us the ancient lineage of the King of the Monsters. And when that moment happens, the MonsterVerse will never be the same. Godzilla's story isn't over. In fact, it might just be beginning. What do you think? Are we finally going to see Godzilla's species in Supernova? Or is there another twist waiting for us? Drop your theories in the comments. I want to hear your craziest ideas. And if you're hyped for Godzilla X Kong Supernova, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. The war for Earth was only the beginning, and trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next.